Welcome to the Lakeshore Christian Church Midweek Podcast. I'm Pastor Randy Cordell. We're coming to you live from our studio at our Antioch campus here in Nashville, Tennessee. Glad to have you joining us today. If you haven't already done so, we'd love for you to subscribe to the podcast. Just hit that subscription button. We come to you live at noon on Wednesdays, and then once it's posted, you can listen to it anytime after that on most popular podcast platforms. Normally on the podcast, we spend a little time talking about the message series that we're in here at Lakeshore. I was out of town this past Sunday. I'm thankful we have Michael Scherer here on staff, as executive pastor on staff with us, and he brought the message this past Sunday. We're in a series called The Parables of Jesus. And this past Sunday, he talked about a parable. It's often called the parable of the tenants. And it's really a portrait of God. And Mike did a great job of breaking that down and revealing to us from Jesus' teaching there some attributes of God and how God sent Jesus here on a rescue mission to save us from our sins. How Jesus, in telling this parable, was really, he was addressing the Pharisees at the time and their unwillingness to recognize Jesus for who he really was and their rejection of Jesus. But he was also doing it as a warning to all of us to be sure we don't miss the opportunity to accept God's grace and offer forgiveness through Jesus. So if you missed it, we have that message archived on our YouTube channel. You can go back and catch it there. And if you have any questions or need to talk to anybody about any decisions you're thinking about making, just call our office or email us here. We'd be glad to follow up with you there. Today, I'm going to change gears a little bit. It's been a while since I've had a guest on the podcast, but I'm happy today to have with us Tito Lozano. Tito is our youth pastor here at Lakeshore, over middle school and high school ages. Does a great job for us. Welcome, Tito. It's good to have you here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Randy.
Well, I certainly am excited for people to get to know you better. If you've been a long-time part of Lakeshore, you already know Tito probably. But if you're new to us, I wanted you to get to know him a little bit better. Tito, tell us, how long have you been on staff here, and tell us a little bit about your family.
Yeah, so once again, my name is Tito Lozano. I've been on staff for about 8 years now, I think.
Yeah.
Been coming here since I was a sixth grade student, so quite a while now.
Yeah.
Married, my beautiful wife's name, Megan Lozano. We have 2 kids, Joaquin, my 4-year-old boy, and Catalina, my 2-year-old daughter. And it's been a blessing to be able to come here as a student and then now be able to teach the same students that were my age when I started coming to Lakeshore. It's awesome.
I think that's one of the coolest Lakeshore stories is how Tito came up through the youth program and was able to come back on staff with us now, doing such a great job there. I love Tito and his family. Megan's a great addition to the family as well. And those kids are amazing. They get to come with Tito up to the office pretty often. I get to see them pretty regularly, and they are so much fun. And I know a lot of work, but a lot of blessing too at the same time.
Yeah. Thank you. Definitely a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, Tito, I know one of the great things we have that we do each year, and again, if you're part of Lakeshore for a long time, you already know probably about this. We say things sometimes kind of by initials or codes and just kind of think everybody knows what they are, and they don't always. We talk about TCTC, and we have that coming up soon. And for those who may not know about it, know what it is, just give us an overview of what we're talking about when we say the TCTC.
Yeah. So TCTC stands for Tennessee Christian Teen Convention, and it's held in Gatlinburg Convention Center every January, normally the first weekend or second weekend of January. This year it's going to be the 9th through the 11th, and it's a conference for high school students. They come together. I think it's around 5,000 high schoolers that will come together to this conference and just get to learn more about God. They have different speakers. They have different house bands, different musicians, talents, a whole bunch of stuff like that. So they'll break it off into a morning session and then a night session, and then during that time they get free time to explore Gatlinburg, get to know each other. Just, first of all, who doesn't love being in Gatlinburg?
Yeah.
So just that part is a great experience, and then put that along with just some great speakers, some great group time, and all that stuff. It's a wonderful weekend to learn more about God and keep building our relationship with Him.
Yeah, I think you got to attend as a student, right?
Yes, as well. Yep.
Years ago. And tell us a little bit about what you see as the biggest benefits of having. If we have some parents listening or high schoolers that tune into this, what would be the biggest advantage of them going to a conference like this?
Yeah, I think it's really good it's kind of already in the middle. Half of the school year has already passed by. They're kind of in the rhythm of everything. They kind of have their group friends at school, their group friends at youth group, and this is almost a really good weekend trip to kind of combine those together. One thing that we really love about TCTC is it's a trip where they can invite a lot of their school friends.
Yeah.
It's a quick trip. It's not as long as our summer one, so it's really easy to invite friends. And we've actually had the youth group grow through that process, being able to say, hey, do you want to spend a weekend in Gatlinburg? And that's always the first thing that catches people's eyes. And then God does the rest there. God works miracles in their hearts, whether they came there to have fun or came there to actually learn about God, whatever reason it was. God always moves. But it's just it's a great. And then for the people that are in the youth group, it's a really good way for them to even bring down their walls and get to know each other in their youth groups a lot better, which preps for our summer programming a lot easier and stuff. So,
yeah, that's something I've noticed is the ones that actually go to an event like this, they come from every different background and every level of faith or not having faith yet. And God is able to work on their hearts. And we hear stories all the time of great things that happen, friendships that are made that end up lasting a lifetime sometimes. The youth group gets closer. They get bonded together when they travel and do things together like that. But even those that went there, like you said, maybe just for the fun of the trip, getting away with friends, God works on them and leads them along in their path. And even those that were already maybe stronger in their faith, I think it's deepened by going to something like this as well.
Yeah.
We've got about how many do we think on average we usually take, or how many do you think we might be taking this year?
We should be taking around 40 to 50 this year.
Yeah.
So.
I love it. I love it. I know I talked to a couple of high schoolers recently that said they were inviting some school friends to come along. I love when they can do that. You never know the difference that's going to make in a young person's life.
Yeah, we already had a couple of people that just came, not from Lakeshore, just came because a friend invited them, and they've been coming to youth group ever since. So it's just those connections. I mean, that's how I came here. I had one invite, came here one time, and couldn't get rid of me.
Yeah, I love it. It's amazing because that happens at every level, at every age. And adults, I want you to hear this too. This works for adults too. The greatest outreach any church has, whether it's Lakeshore or anywhere else, is just friends inviting their friends to come and check it out, come and see, come along with me to something at the church, those kinds of things. And that one visit could be the trigger that just changes everything. And studies are showing over and over again for high schoolers and all ages that the one thing that is usually lacking for those that might even be open to going is they're just waiting on an invitation. Mm-hmm. They don't even know that's what they're waiting on, but when they get invited, it's that step that they needed to actually get them to go there.
For sure.
Yeah, I love that. When they come to Lakeshore, what kind of things do we have other than like TCTC? What are the regular programs we have here if they invite their friends to come?
Yeah, so I do Wednesday night programming, which is kind of our main focus or main programming of the week, and that is both middle school and high school. So we start off with an open gym. They're all together, hanging out, friends, and then we'll do a lesson, which I'll go up there and speak for about 20 minutes, and then we'll break off into small groups. But then we do that part based off of grades and gender. So we'll have middle school boys group, middle school girls group, high school girls and high school boys, so they can kind of be with their age range and kind of feel that, have that comfortability, and also know that people relate to them at that age and stuff. So
yeah, I love the way you break it down. Like we can have some time together, but then you can break it down in the groups like that. It can be a little scary, like for a younger middle school age with an older high school age. But when you break it into the smaller groups like that of their own age and gender, that helps a lot.
Yeah.
Where they're them feeling comfortable, maybe their parents feeling comfortable too with having them there.
That's a big part, that them feeling comfortable in their small groups, knowing this is a trustworthy, and knowing that they can speak up and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then Sunday mornings, tell us what happens then.
Sunday mornings, our first service, our 9 a.m. service is our high school service, and then our middle school service is our 11 o'clock service.
Yeah. So again, there's an opportunity there. Parents, if you're listening and you have high school age or middle school age, this is a great program for you to get them connected to and involved in. They just need some encouragement from you, and especially the young ones need you to, transportation to get them here and things like that. But if you could do that for them, that's a valuable thing for them to have in their lives. And I've seen so many of our young people. Studies are showing, and we've been talking about this, Barna Research has recently came out with a study that showed that Gen Z has a more open attitude to religious things, to Christianity, not just Christianity, but they're more open to spiritual things. Right now there's a hunger and a thirst I think there's a lot of confusion on identity, who they are, what they need, what their lives are all about. while they're open and while they're interested, it's a great opportunity for us to help them make that connection, because God answers those questions in His Word. He answers those questions. And we are a church that teaches the Word, and that happens through our middle school, high school, and all ages. If they're a part of what's happening here, they're going to be hearing God's Word, what God says about those things. But it's also done from love. It's truth wrapped in love, and I think that impacts our young people, and so many of them are hungry for that. And I love seeing that curiosity, that hunger there, that we can reach out and make a difference in their lives. Well, we've got something else, too, that you are connected to, and I loved hearing about this. It's kind of a new thing for us, called Pursue, and it's connected to the CIY conference, I believe, and following up with that. So tell us a little bit about how that works as well.
Yeah, so Pursue is something that CIY, which, once again, if you guys aren't familiar, CIY stands for Christ in Youth. It is an organization that we go to a lot of their summer camps for, and one of the things they do during the summer camp is they do, first-time decisions, if that's your first time making a decision to join the family of Christ, and different stuff like that. One of the ones that they do is for students that are interested in going into ministry. And a lot of the times we'll say that at camp, and then people stand up and there's no follow-up, or it's just all left on to me or something, like, to Lakeshore, to whatever it is. So Pursue is now CIY teaming up with different organizations, one being Point University, and giving them a college tour and kind of explaining them in a more detailed way, like what that looks like. What does going into ministry look like? What do we have to offer? And just helping guide those students that were maybe even thinking about it, that are for sure. And this is like tailored to them. And so it's a little bit different than a college tour, but essentially they're getting a college tour, but more. A
college tour is part of it, but it's more geared especially toward those wanting to go into vocational ministry. So when we say vocational ministry, what are some options for them there that they might be thinking about? Like preaching ministry?
Yeah, preaching, working with students as well, worship, all these just different areas. Some just maybe want to see what a school that has that option, just different phases. You don't have to be a student that's like, I'm for sure going to be a pastor or a preacher, but it's just, it covers a little bit of everything.
If you're just thinking that God may be leading you down that path to some kind of vocational ministry of any kind, that would be a great option for you to go and make a visit like that. Learn more about, well, here's the road that could lead you to what you're thinking about maybe doing. Here's what it would look like to do that in school. And what classes and programs might be offered there. So I'm glad to see the partnership with Christ in Youth, CIY, with the local churches and with Point University, and other schools are doing it too, other Christian schools around the country. But I love that partnership because I'm an alumni of Point University, and
I'm a student now.
You're a student now, and I'm a trustee there. So, which is another partnership we had. If you could maybe just speak a moment to that too. We partnered with Point University to do what is called the GAP Scholarship Program. It's specifically designed for students that may have, for some reason, not completed a degree that they wanted to complete. Life got in the way, things like marriage, jobs, all the kids, those kinds of things can sometimes keep you from getting that completed the way you wanted to. And what they did is they partnered with churches like Lakeshore, and we invested some money in this for one lump sum that the church can pay to Point. Up to 6 students, or 7, up to 7 students could go to Point University online at no cost to them for tuition, which is a great opportunity. And Tito is one of those that's taking advantage of that scholarship opportunity. So, you just finished up, I think, some finals recently, didn't you?
Yeah. It's been a blessing. Like you said, it's just life gets hectic. Married, got kids, all that stuff happened. The full-time job, everything. So it's hard to not. So having this opportunity presented, super grateful, by the way. Yeah. And then it's just been awesome. It's online. It's really helpful. It's made me learn just everything, just how to do my current job better, things that I can implement in life, and just a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah.
It's been a blessing. Kind of work at your own pace and all that stuff. It's been great.
Yeah, I love that Point developed this program, and that churches could partner with them. And I want to thank the way we've been able to do it at Lakeshore is through your offerings and gifts to the church. We've been able to make that lump sum donation to Point to cover this. And we've got 6 students right now that have been going through the program. This is their 2nd year into the program now through the scholarship that we're able to offer there. So I want to thank those who have contributed, not just to the general fund. That's great too. That's helped us keep our ministries going and all. but some people have donated specifically just to the GAP Scholarship Fund. Now, if you want to help us with that, we want to keep funding that moving forward. And the way you do that is you can go to our website at lakeshorechristian.com, where you go to give, click on that Give tab. There's a drop-down menu. When you click on that drop-down menu, there's one that says GAP Scholarship or Point Scholarship, I think it says. You click on that, and then when you make a donation of any amount, it'll go specifically for us to be able to fund that GAP Scholarship moving forward. I love that when we offered this, we weren't sure how many people would be interested, but we have 6 students that immediately jumped in there and said, we want to be a part of it. We actually had more. We had a few that weren't able to do it right away, weren't able to get it worked out, but 6 were able to pursue that. And I've been getting reports back from the school, by the way. They let me know, how are my students doing from Lakeshore, right? They're very complimentary of you and of other students that we've got going there, taking it seriously, really doing their work. And you probably only have, maybe another year you could complete?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, maybe a year and a half, something like that.
About a year and a half, I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And you can do that without having to leave your current job, without having to move your family, those kinds of things. Being able to do it online, it's a great advantage there. So I'm so thankful we were able to partner with Point University, and I don't mind giving them a shout out anytime as a trustee and alumni there. We also, Mike Scherer is an alumni as well of Point, another one of our staff members here. So we love doing that. We've got another young man, Jeremy Dennis, who is in that program too, and he's pursuing preaching ministry. But we have others, one pursuing more youth ministry specialties too, different things like that. So there are different degree programs they offer there and certificates, anything from a certificate to an associate degree to a bachelor's degree. You can do it through the GAP Scholarship Program. So we're excited to be a church that's able to offer that. And I encourage other churches, if you're listening, if you have heard about the GAP Scholarship Program, check it out a little bit more. It would be great for your church to offer something like that as well. Well, Tito, thank you for coming today, man. It's great to have this time together. Before we go today, I just want to remind our listeners of a couple of things going on here at Lakeshore. We already mentioned the GAP Scholarship Fund, if you'd like to donate to that. We mentioned already TCTC. If your high schooler hasn't registered yet, or you're a high schooler listening today, make sure you go ahead and get registered. We do have a certain number of slots available. We usually fill up the slots that we have. So don't hesitate. Don't wait too long. If you could go ahead and get registered, that would be great. And again, you can do that on our website, lakeshorechristian.com. Just click on that graphic for the TCTC. It'll take you to that page to get registered there. Or you could do it at the kiosk at either campus, at the kiosk in the lobbies there. Another thing we've got coming up real quick here is Trunk or Treat. We do this as an outreach in our community every year. We have hundreds of kids come through with their families. We do this at both campuses, the Smyrna and the Antioch campus, and we need volunteers to help. We need people to bring candy donations. We've already got some candy out there. We need even more candy. You won't believe how much candy we give out. So if you could help us out with that by bringing donations, you can bring that to the lobby of either campus. And then we need people who will actually take their vehicle out there. We're going to be doing it on Sunday afternoon. It's going to be October the 26th, so just a couple of weeks away here. We need people to have their vehicles out there. So you can sign up to volunteer to do that on our website. Just click on the Trunk or Treat graphic. There'll be a page there where you can volunteer to either host a trunk. It's what we call it, hosting a trunk, where you have your car or your truck out there. You just decorate it up, have fun with it, and give out candy. We just want smiling faces out there, giving out candy, inviting people to come back to church here at Lakeshore. And we almost always have some families that end up coming to visit with us because we did Trunk or Treat for their kids out there. They love having a safe place to bring their kids. We'll have Kona Ice out there, some things like that. It's a fun event. We also need volunteers to be there at the event, even if you can't do a trunk. So if you're interested in finding out more or volunteering for that, again, visit our website and then click on that Trunk or Treat graphic. Or at the kiosk at either campus, you can sign up and volunteer there. I want to thank you for joining us today here on our podcast. We encourage you to come and be with us live if you haven't visited with us before. We have services at the Antioch campus at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. on Sundays. We have service at the Smyrna campus at 10 a.m. And we live stream our services if you can't be here in person every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, so you can tune in with us there as we continue to connect, grow, and serve here at Lakeshore Christian Church.